The team at Seattle, based in the Outer Loop Games, created PAX East in Boston this weekend, showcasing their upcoming first-person Falcon or Falcon Age. With at least one big change, all combat in the game is now optional. It's a nice demonstration of how a studio can make their games more accessible to you as well. Might like to play without the stress of being attacked. And the studio took to Twitter today to explain that the change was made recently due to player feedback from events. We noticed some players wanted to enjoy their time with the Falcon, started hunting, and crafting. The studio wrote, "We decided to add a mode that was combat optional, called Imprint mode. Enemies do not see you or your Falcon in this mode. You can still engage enemies, but they will not fight back." The change seems to have been made relatively late in development, given that the game has now gone gold ahead of its planned release next Tuesday. If you do like a bit of behind-the-scenes insight into the design of its charming Falcon Lab, check out this recent deep dive into how Outer upgraded Falcon Age's feathered companion. Newsbrief. Eric Jockey, the designer behind games like Another World and From Dust, has founded an indie studio and is in the process of setting up to announce the team's first project. The studio in question is Pixel Reef, an indie development effort that set up shop a few years ago, but is only now making itself fully known. In a tweet, the Pixel Reef team notes that they aim to create immersive indie games with a poetic touch. The studio's first project has yet to be revealed, but its website teases an announcement roughly 2 weeks from now with the text, "Somewhere inside big data." Sales and profits are down at Square Enix, which just posted its financials for the 9 months, ended December 31st.
2018
Consolidated net sales dipped by 8% year-on-year to 179.1 billion yuan, $1.6 billion, while profits decreased by 61% to 8.9 billion yuan, $81.1 million, over the same period. That downturn is partly due to the restructuring of Luminous Productions, which saw Square book an extraordinary loss of 2.7 billion yuan, $33.7 million. Looking at the company's digital entertainment segment, which houses its video game operations, net sales over the past 9 months dropped by 9.1% to 135 billion yuan, $1.2 billion, while operating income fell by 59.3% to 14.8 billion yuan, $135.7 million. That's despite a strong showing from new releases, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Just Cause 4, and Octopath Traveler, which actually bumped up quarterly net sales, despite not being able to offset a long-term decline on the smart device and PC browser front. Many of Square's newer titles struggled to meet expectations and failed to generate additional revenue on top of existing games. A decrease in licensing income and an increase in advertising spend also contributed to the year-on-year decline in net sales and operating income. Square claims it must now focus on selected titles and releasing games that utilize existing properties in order to create new hits and reinvigorate its smart device and browser business. In the area of massively multiplayer online games, net sales and operating income also decreased on the previous year, largely due to lack new releases and expansions. Moving forward, Square expects net sales and profits to hit 270 billion yuan, $2.46 billion, and 175.1 billion yuan, $1.6 billion, respectively by the end of the fiscal year, on March 31st.
2019
THQ Nordic app has distanced itself comments made by its subsidiary THQ Nordic Game, and has backed Deep Silver's decision to launch Metro Exodus as a time exclusive on the Epic Games Store. At first glance it was a confusing sentence, so take a deep breath and hold on to your hat, because we are about to venture down the THQ rabbit hole. Reading. Here goes. THQ Nordic Game is the owner of Deep Silver and its parent company Koch Media, the latter of which still holds the rights to the Metro franchise, and yesterday suggested it was not enamored with the company's decision to pull Metro Exodus from Steam in favor of the Epic Store. We do not want to categorically exclude the possibility of timed exclusives for any of our games in the future, wrote THQ Nordic Game on Twitter. But speaking in the here and now, we definitely want to have the players choose the platform of their liking and make our portfolio available to as many outlets as possible. Now, THQ Nordic Games' own parent company, THQ Nordic app, has distanced itself from those comments, and said it fully supports Koch Media's decision, as well as the autonomy of its various subsidiaries. I believe it's in the group's, and ultimately the consumers' best interest that business decisions are made close to the market, and this is the group's consistent business model, said THQ Nordic app chief exec Lars Wingefors. I firmly believe that Deep Silver and Koch Media have carefully considered the advantages and disadvantages, opportunities and risks in their decision to go solely with Epic Games Store. The decision has my full support. Wingefors has also realized the shortcomings of having two different business entities sharing the THQ Nordic name, and now plans to change the name of THQ Nordic app to better reflect its status as the group's parent company, THQ Nordic Game, the operating entity based in Vienna, and the one that tweeted yesterday will keep its current moniker. In a recent interview with Game Informer, Sony Interactive Entertainment chairman Sean Layden suggested we have not seen more games take advantage of crossplay on PS4 because developers and publishers simply are not requesting the feature. He explained Sony is open for business on this one, following the successful implementation of Fortnite crossplay, and that company is keen on the idea, just need to chat with their PlayStation account manager to get the ball rolling. It all sounds fairly straightforward, but one high-profile developer claims the situation is anything but. Responding to Layden's comments on Resetera, the CEO of Wargrove developer publisher Chicofish claimed Sony has repeatedly stopped the studio from pursuing the idea. We just launched Wargrove with cross-play between PC, Switch and X, so I wanted to chime in, said the company's chief exec, Finn Bryce. We made many requests for cross-play, both through our account manager and directly with higher-ups, all the way up until release math. We were told in no uncertain terms that it was not going to happen. From our side, we can literally toggle a switch and have it working. Of course, this work might be more complicated for Sony. Just wanted to provide some balance on the issue and say that it certainly is not a question of developers having not contacted their account managers or having dropped the ball. We were told no. It's a curious exchange that suggests Sony still is not smitten with the idea of letting its users mingle with players on rival consoles, at least when it comes to smaller titles that are not Fortnite or Rocket League. How can fans make their favorite retro classics look better without petitioning for a tiny remaster or full-blown remake? Is it by getting neural networks to do their dark bidding, as spotlighted by the folks over at VentureBeat? A piece of software called Gamasutra is currently helping Final Fantasy V players improve the resolution of the game's backdrops and make it easier on the eyes. The program uses machine learning to understand how to improve images by comparing a high-resolution snap with a low-res version of the same picture, before trying to bridge the gap between the two. Although the results might be haphazard at first, as the software begins to understand what makes the high-resolution image better, it should start to deliver results. Indeed, one Final Fantasy modder that goes by the name of Caprarabo has already provided a glimpse of what a Gamasutra is capable of by running Final Fantasy VI's backgrounds through the program. As the comparison below shows, the software has managed to make some noticeable improvements, delivering backgrounds that are noticeably sharper and chock full of detail. It's an interesting technique that's full of potential, and some publishers are already employing similar methods to improve aging titles on the fly. Keen to hear more? Then you will want to go and check out the full article over on VentureBeat.